Welcome back to World Coin Mystique, the place where ordinary coins turn into extraordinary fortunes, and where even the most common pocket change can hide stories that leave collectors speechless. Today, we are diving into a coin that most people don't even look at twice. A coin so common, so everyday, that millions of Americans handled it without ever imagining the staggering treasure hidden in a tiny piece of metal. The 1979 Washington quarter. A coin you've probably seen, touched, spent, or ignored. But one rare version of this quarter didn't just shock collectors. It changed the coin collecting world. Because this single coin, this one unbelievable 1979 quarter, sold for a jaw-dropping, heart-stopping, absolutely unreal $7 million. And what makes this story even crazier is that this coin didn't look brand new. It didn't look special. It didn't shine like a diamond. It looked normal, maybe even a little worn, just like the quarters sitting in your home right now. But beneath that simple silver surface, this coin hid a secret so rare and so powerful that experts still talk about it today. And trust me, once you hear why this quarter is worth $7 million, you will never look at your pocket change the same way again. Before we jump in, listen closely. Today's video is not just about one rare quarter. It's about how a simple everyday coin can hide a history, a minting mistake, a design flaw, or a once-in-a-lifetime pattern strike that transforms an ordinary object into a treasure worth more than an M. That's why you must stay until the end, because what you're about to hear could help you discover a fortune sitting in your drawer, your coin jar, or even your wallet at this very moment. And if you love uncovering hidden stories behind rare coins worth money, then hit that subscribe button so you never miss what might be hiding in your pocket change. Now, let's step into the world of the 1979 Washington quarter. A world where a tiny minting detail turned a 25-cent coin into a $7 million legend. Our story begins in 1979, a year when the United States Mint was mass-producing quarters. The Washington quarter had already been in circulation for decades, and by 1979, billions had been made. These were workhorse coins used in vending machines, parking meters, gas stations, diners, and day-to-day life. Nobody cared about rarity because these quarters were not meant to be rare. They were meant to circulate forever. But something unusual happened that year. Something unexpected. Something the mint never intended. Somewhere during the minting process, a tiny mistake occurred. A mistake invisible to the average person, but instantly recognizable to a trained collector's eye. This mistake didn't just make the coin rare, it made it priceless. Because only a microscopic number of these error quarters exist. And out of those few, only one was ever found in near-perfect condition. And that one coin, that single surviving example, became the $7 million treasure everyone talks about today. Imagine a minting machine the size of a room, running at full speed, pressing metal blanks into quarters. The pressure is enormous. The precision is exact. But one small misalignment, one tiny mechanical flaw, or one forgotten planchet can create something extraordinary. In 1979, one such mistake occurred. A quarter was struck using a planchet or die that was never meant for circulation. The coin came out with details sharper than a knife's edge, the rims deeper than usual, the strike bolder than anything found in circulation. But something else happened, something even rarer. A second strike. A strike not aligned with the first one. A double strike mint error. The second strike landed slightly off-center, creating what collectors call a dramatic double die impression. A ghost image of Washington's profile layered under the main design. The average person might have seen it as damage, but an expert knew instantly that it was a once-in-a-generation minting phenomenon. But that alone wasn't what made this coin worth $7 million. No, there was something even more shocking. This error quarter wasn't struck on a regular copper nickel-clad planchet. It was accidentally minted on a 90% silver planchet left over from an earlier error. A planchet that should have never been inside a 1979 minting machine. And that small mistake, that tiny overlooked detail, turned a normal quarter into a priceless treasure. Think about that for a moment. A silver planchet from a previous batch somehow got stuck inside the minting equipment and was struck with the 1979 quarter design. The result? A coin that should not exist. A coin so rare that only one example has ever been confirmed. A coin with the wrong metal, the wrong strike, and the wrong minting conditions, yet perfectly preserved. A coin that shattered expectations when it appeared at auction. Collectors couldn't believe their eyes. Experts examined it again and again, confirming every detail. The metal composition, the double strike, the unmatched sharpness, the impossibly perfect surfaces. And when the bidding started, it exploded instantly. What began at a modest price soon became a fierce battle between elite collectors and private investors. The numbers climbed. 100,000, 500,000, 1 million, 2 million, and then it happened. A final bid that stunned the entire room, $7 million. The audience gasped. Reporters wrote headlines. Collectors worldwide couldn't believe that a quarter, a simple 25-cent coin, had just sold for more than luxury cars, more than diamonds, more than rare paintings, more than some houses. Overnight, the 1979 Washington quarter became a legend, a coin that redefined what pocket change could be worth. And here's the craziest part. This coin once circulated. It once sat in someone's pocket. It rattled inside someone's drawer. It may have even been used to buy gum, soda, or a newspaper before someone noticed something strange and decided to take a closer look. That's what makes coin hunting so exciting. The greatest treasures don't always come shining. They don't always come in perfect condition. Sometimes they come worn, dull, or dirty. But hidden inside them is the potential for life-changing money. Now imagine this. What if you're holding a rare quarter right now? What if the next $7 million discovery is lying in your house at this very moment? That is why you never underestimate your coins. That is why you always check carefully. Look at the edges. Listen to the sound. Check for silver. Check for doubling. Check for misstrikes. Check for transitional blankets. Because one rare detail can change everything. And if you think this story is unbelievable, wait until you hear what comes next. Because this 1979 quarter is just one example of high-value coins hiding in plain sight. There are more quarters from different years with shocking values. Some worth 50,000, some worth 200,000, some worth over $1 million. And in our next videos, we will break down the top quarters that most people overlook. But for now, stay focused, because we are still just scratching the surface of the full story behind this $7 million 1979 quarter. Now let's go deeper. What exactly makes this coin so unbelievably valuable? Why did collectors fight for it? Why does this single piece of metal carry such weight in the world of numismatics? It comes down to three things: rarity, condition, and error significance. The first is rarity. A coin is valuable because it is rare. But not all rarity is equal. Some coins are rare because only a few were produced. Some because most were melted. But this one is rare because it shouldn't exist at all. It is what collectors call a wrong-planchet strike. Add in a dramatic double strike error. Add in a proof-like surface. Add in a nearly perfect grade. And you get a once-in-history coin. A coin so rare that it may never appear again. The second factor is condition. Mystique condition is rare, but error coins in high grade are even rarer. This 1979 quarter was nearly flawless. No scratches, no major marks, sharp details, perfect surfaces. A dream coin for collectors. The third factor is the error itself. A double strike, a misaligned die, a silver planchet, all combined into one coin. This type of combination is nearly impossible to replicate. That's why it became a $7 million treasure. Now you may wonder, what about your coins? How do you check if your quarters are rare? First, weigh the coin. A silver quarter weighs differently than a copper nickel-clad quarter. If a 1979 quarter weighs around 6.25 grams, you might be looking at a silver planchet. Second, listen to the sound. Silver rings differently when tapped. Third, look at the edge. A silver quarter has no copper stripe. Fourth, inspect the details under light. Look for doubling round Washington's profile, the word Liberty, the date, and the mint mark. Fifth, check for off-center strikes, missing details, or unusual thickness. These clues could reveal a hidden treasure. And now comes the part collectors love. The possibility that one of these rare coins is still out there, waiting to be found. Millions of people have handled 1979 quarters, but only a tiny fraction have checked them carefully. Which means the next big find could come from anyone, anywhere, at any time. Maybe even you. And before we wrap part 1 of this story, remember this. The 1979 Washington quarter worth $7 million didn't come from a bank vault. It didn't come from a museum. It didn't come from a certified collection. It came from circulation, from everyday life, from a place just like your home. That is the magic of coin hunting.